Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have the first Alliance War of the season, Season 21. In this war, I am taking in Sabretooth, Omega Red, and Void. Sabretooth for the Omega Red synergy, which keeps his spores on for 30% longer, and I believe they do 30% increased damage. And then Void for this Captain Marvel movie, and Ebony Maw on the Ebb and Flow knockdown path. So I'm going to be taking Path 5 in the first section, and then in section 2 I will be taking path 2, but it has some very stacked defenders on it, along with taking the the Mixed Master Korg and a Korg on Boss Island. But to start off, we have Void versus Captain Marvel movie. I believe this is a rank 5 Sig 200 Captain Marvel movie, but this fight is interesting due to the fact that when that little Fury buff comes off in the top left-hand corner that you can see the passive, she shrugs off all debuffs. So it makes Void a hard character to use for this fight. But overall, since he has such a high damage output and his way of dealing damage to the opponent through his debuffs while they're active, he can deal some major damage. But as you can see, I did get hit there by the end of her special 1. That will be happening a lot in this fight. Her special 1 caught me off the top of my head, I believe 3 or 4 times this fight, and lost a good chunk of health, but just 1 potion, not too bad. This war was overall very expensive for me. It took me probably 6 level 4 potions, but not many deaths, which is good. I believe I do end up dying in one of these fights, a little foreshadowing for what to come. But yep, just getting through this fight slow and steady. I was pretty nervous about this just because of Captain Marvel movie's special 2, and I know that Void will push her into binary with his special 1. Get hit there again. She crit me, unfortunate. And when she's in binary, her special 2 is unblockable, and I do not know how to dex her special 2 yet, so that was a little bit scary. But as you guys can see, she's going down. I'm making sure to manage her power, make sure that she doesn't get too high. But yeah, we're just slow and steady. I noticed recently in the top right-hand corner next to her binary charges, it has those 11 indestructible charges. 11 indestructible charges, sorry. And I don't know what they do. I've only seen them so far with Void, and I noticed that when I have them, she's not indestructible, even though she's she's a stubborn defender. So I'm not sure what those do. I need to check it out, but this fight is just about over. Give or take 1 knockdown, 1 more cycle. Get a little bit of willpower healing there from those armor breaks, and boom, she's down. Nice fight. Next up, I have a Ebony Maw. This Ebony Maw is a 6-star rank 2. And duped. So overall, Ebony Maw is not the hardest defender, but he can deal some major degeneration damage if you're not careful. So I throw on an attack boost just to be careful. Also, if I were to go back in time, I would have used a potion here, just to top off the health a little bit. But Ebony Maw, I'm pretty good at reparrying. I learned right there that he has max limber, which is really bad for me. I get comboed, which is very unfortunate. Took another one of my potions, but nice little reparry there, and just learned that I gotta be faster. And yeah, just overall pretty basic fight, basic Ebony Maw. You just can't punish the special, or not the specials. You can't punish the heavy attack, but falter, willpower heal from them. I got lucky there, especially with that special 2 dex against the corner. And yeah, we're doing good. Slow and steady, we're moving up. Ebony Maw is one of those characters I have noticed that has not been in the meta recently for defense, just because he's so easily countered by characters like Void or Human Torch, specifically Human Torch. But I still believe him to be a decent Alliance War defender if you place him on the right node. He has some good degen against cosmic characters, and he shuts down characters like Corvus. So if you're not a very skilled attacker that guaranteed crit miss ability is pretty nice to have, but now that we're through all the falter stages, this fight is basically over for him. He has no way to falter me now, and he won't degen me. So just blitz him down, just hit into him. And yeah, it's just about the fight over. I believe one more cycle, and then it's done. Let's see. Yep, and that's the fight over. Cool. So no deaths on the first path. Good start to the season, good start. I do not take this Nick Fury. We have a person on path 6 with a rank 5 Archangel, so he can take that fight. Next up, we have the Mixmaster Korg. He is a Sig 200, and my Omega is only Sig 80 level 40, or something like that. I haven't had enough ISO to level him up, but I do throw on some small boosts here, just to be safe. The last thing I want is to die, of course. If Omega Red was higher level, this fight would have been easier. But overall, it's not that bad of a fight with Omega Red. Get lucky there with the restore and him throwing a heavy there as well. Right there, I forgot about the evade, so that was a little awakening to me. Took a combo, nice little special 1 dex. But yep, once you get that initial stack of rock stacks off with Omega Red, it's pretty easy there on out. You just build up your death spores, and then you just parry heavy really for the rest of the fight to keep the degen damage up, and along with keeping him pinned against the wall and special 2 for that extra damage. See right there, if you go back, in the middle of my special 2, he manages to block. I'm not sure how that happened, but it was interesting. I've never seen that happen before, and I don't believe that should be possible. Luckily, I threw the next special 2 at him up against the wall. Another nice little special 1 dex. I have had to practice those recently due to completing the variants that have had Korg in them. I believe that there's a Korg in variant 2 with some pretty annoying nodes. But yep, overall, not that bad of a fight. Like I said, if Omega Red was higher level, this fight would have been easy. But we just make it through, keep that death damage up. Especially if I was running suicides, this fight would have been a lot faster as well, due to that initial death field. And there I get a Snapchat notification. I was very mad. I had turned on Do Not Disturb and turned off line notifications, but I forgot to turn off Snapchat. So that was pretty annoying, especially since it covers the health bar and his rock stacks, but luckily I got lucky there. And yeah, just gotta be good at dexing a special 1. Make sure that you pay attention to Mixmaster, and just throw special 2s, and this is the fight just about over. At the end here, I do get clipped. I believe it's right after this one. Yep, right here. Bam, bam, boom. I dexed too late on his initial special 1 hit, so I got lucky I didn't die there, in all honesty. But now this fight is over. Get a little bit of lifesteal at the end there, and boom. Mixmaster Korg soloed, and that is actually the first time I've ever soloed a Mixmaster Korg. Next up, on path 5, I have a rank 2, I believe Sig 200, 6-star thing, fight with Omega Red. So like I said, they put some very stacked defenders on this path, which is an interesting placement, because path 2 is usually not a very great path for high-ranked defenders. I believe we only put like a Symbiote Supreme there and some other random champions. And another example of me turning off all notifications besides Discord this time. But yep, thing is overall a pretty easy fight with Omega Red. You just gotta pay attention to the rock stacks and his power. And try to keep your death field up as much as possible. But overall, really not that bad of a fight. There, that was a little bit unfortunate. I was hoping he wouldn't throw his special. But now I'm just gonna have to sort of wait it out a little bit, hit into his block, have him build power that way. But yeah, we get through this fight. Rank 2 Thing is a amazing defender if you put him on the right nodes. So for example, Encroaching Stun is very good for Thing. The boss node is also good. A little bit of a fun fact, but in my battle group we have a rank 5 Sig 100 and something Apocalypse, who we have as the boss. And we also have a rank 2 Sig like 20 Professor X on the encroaching stun, or on the stunning reflection node. So pretty interesting. Professor X isn't great on that node because of his falter mechanic, but you know, not the worst defender on that node for sure. I'm thinking we might place a Killmonger there instead. But yep, this thing is going down pretty quick. I've lost a little bit of health to block damage and parrying, which is unfortunate. So like I said, this war was very potion heavy. It took a lot of my resources due to the fact that I didn't want to die. Dying is the worst thing that can happen in Alliance War, especially at the level that I'm at, and us trying to progress to the next level. But yeah, I'll leave you to finish the rest of this fight, and I'll be back. Alright guys, that's the end of this thing. 108 hits, I believe that said, 107. But next up we have this rank 5, Nick Fury, placed on path 2. Another very interesting placement. I'm not used to seeing very high level defenders placed on just some random nodes, but I'll take it. Relatively easy fight. I potioned up Omega just to be careful. I'm gonna regret not doing that later in the next fight I take. Sorry, the fight after the next fight, should I say. But this guy is also running suicides, which makes my life even easier. But this Omega is just melting at the moment. Now that I got those death spores up to 10, and I have the degen going, he's ticking down like 2% every second. So this is perfect. Parry heavy, same strategy as Thing really, except for when he enters his life model decoy. Then you have to be careful due to the fact that he can go unblockable with his special 1 if he decides to spam them and he has not ideal AI. That can be a very unfortunate thing that happens. Here, I try to kill him off with my death spores before trying to bait his special 2, but he decides to throw it, which is very unfortunate. I wanted to do that way I could have an opening, since he is stun immune in his life model decoy phase. But it looks like I'm just going to have to parry and try to bait out a heavy, like that, for example. But yeah, I do believe I get clipped in just a second. Yep, right here. So he goes unblockable with those charges after 15, and on his special 1 while in life model decoy, I believe he gains 8 every time he throws a special 1. So there I had to hope to get lucky and have him push over the 20 milestone, because then he just gains a fury buff and the unblockable goes away. But yeah, overall pretty easy fight. I get very lucky again here. He goes unblockable, but I got lucky with my dexes and only took the final hit, and then nice little intercept to finish the fight off. So overall, I'd say that mainly came down to luck. And next up we have this rank 5 Magneto. At this point we are losing the war, so I decide, even though I wasn't assigned this fight, I decided to take it anyways because I was very confident with it. So I pushed through. Void against Magneto, very interesting fight, especially since I won't be able to gain power to throw a special 1. And this fight does take a very long time due to that, because Void takes forever to get debuffs on, normally, if you're not throwing off special 1s constantly. But overall, pretty easy fight. It's just try to get up 2 petrifies, that way he can't heal from the node he is placed on. And then after that, you just want to throw, you just want to parry in 5-hit combo and bait special 1. I do get very unlucky with RNG here, and Petrify will be the last 2 debuffs I get. I get 2 of the other 2, and forgot to turn off line notifications again. Chat, watchers, I swear I will get better at this as I go on, but for a first war video, could have gone worse for sure. I could have forgotten to click record. But there we finally get a Petrify. It's beautiful, it's what we've been looking for. And now, once he enters Fear of the Void after the next debuff is inflicted, I have to try to do as much damage as I possibly can before he exits it, because then he will start to regen again whenever I gain a buff. So there we had a nice little reparry, because I missed the initial parry. And now Fear of the Void is up, so I'm going to be doing increased damage. So his damage, it's like 5k crits, 1.5k non-crit mediums. So we just gotta do as much damage as possible, and as you can see, his health is just draining down due to the fact that I'm reverse healing with the Petrify on top of the Fear of the Void. So he's ticking for 16 health, I believe, every second, maybe more, along with the damage from the other debuffs. But after that Fear of the Void is up, the fight is completely over and I'm in complete control. And chat, this is the fight that I wish I potioned up on further. We have this random Korg placed on the regen node. Just a random Korg. And you'll see what happens here. I get so unlucky with what happens. But I'm thinking in my head, oh, it's just a normal Korg, I got this. Just wait and see. I notice right there, he is max limber. I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'll have enough time in between hits to do a medium heavy. That way I can get a bonus hit in, like you do with Colossus, you know, in Realm of Legends when you're farming potions or whatever the case may be. But yeah, so then I see there, I'm not completely paying attention to the limber timer anymore, but I notice that it's there and it gets me spooked out. So I believe it happens right here. So watch what happens after this combo. I medium, I go for the heavy, and he hits me down to 1%, and no! The reduced bleed duration, or the reduced bleed damage isn't enough. He kills me off. If I just gave him 1 extra potion, I would have survived there, and I could have soloed the fight. But that is not the death we want to see. So here I go to the glory store, I use the rest of my glory, I buy some potions, and I finish this fight off. What I'm thinking in my head right now is, no, how did this happen? That was the deathless war that I was looking to. But it's all in the end, it's all good because we do end up losing this war. This was a very large mismatch for us versus them. They are an AQ focused ally and get that 10% T5CC crystal at the end of every week. So there's a stupid amount of rank 3 defenders, and we're still placing rank 5s for the most part. Along with, we have a new batch of guys in this battle group that I'm in, so we're still getting used to the stuff that's happening. But this was a very large mismatch, and we do lose by a hefty amount. So now that I noticed that I need to be very careful, I get through this Korg, easy peasy, just parry heavy the way through the fight. I'm not trying to do anything fancy anymore, I'm just trying to get through. That's my biggest goal. I get away with another nice little heavy there, take off his rock stacks. One thing I do still need to learn is I need to learn how to bait his attacks without dexing. But as we get to the end of this fight, I want to say thank you all so much for watching. If you do enjoy the content, I will be posting Alliance War videos pretty regularly after every war. I do crystal opening videos, and I am currently the host of the Incursions tournament that a lot of your favorite MCOC YouTubers are probably participating in. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like and sub if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!